Welcome to this transformative exploration of ancient spiritual wisdom that addresses one of the most important, yet often misunderstood aspects of human relationships and spiritual development. Today we delve into the profound teachings of Master Dananji, a spiritual teacher who has dedicated his life to understanding the deeper mysteries of human connection, sexual energy, and the path to enlightenment. In our modern world, we live in times where casual relationships, one-night stands, and having multiple sexual partners have become normalized and even celebrated. Social media, entertainment, and popular culture often promote these behaviors as signs of freedom and personal empowerment. However, what most people don't realize is that there are profound spiritual and energetic consequences to these actions that can affect not just our current lives, but our future relationships, marriages, and even our children. Master Dananji's teachings reveal the hidden spiritual mechanics behind human sexual relationships and explain why ancient traditions across all cultures have emphasized the importance of celibacy, virtue, and sacred marriage. These aren't just moral guidelines, they're based on actual spiritual laws that govern how energy moves between people and how our actions create lasting consequences in the subtle realms. Let's begin by understanding what happens on a spiritual level when two people engage in sexual intercourse. According to Master Dananji's teachings, when a man and woman come together sexually, something remarkable happens in the invisible spiritual dimension. Their astral bodies, which are the subtle energy bodies that exist beyond our physical forms, actually merge together during the act. This merging creates powerful forces in the cosmos that are specifically designed to support the creation of new life. But more importantly for our discussion, this union forms what's called an astral umbilical cord-like tube in the lower astral plane. Think of this as an invisible energy cord that connects the two people involved. This astral tube has very specific characteristics. It appears cloud-like in color and is about 6 inches in diameter. People who have developed their spiritual sight through deep meditation can actually see these tubes connecting individuals. What's particularly significant is that this tube becomes thicker, stronger, and denser with every repeated sexual encounter between the same two people. This isn't just spiritual theory, it's describing an actual energetic reality that affects both people involved, whether they're aware of it or not. According to these teachings, God created this astral tube system for a very specific and beautiful purpose. The primary function of these tubes is to foster authentic feelings of trust, genuine love, affection, understanding, sacrifice, and bonding between a legally married husband and wife. This is particularly amazing when you consider that many married couples might start as complete strangers in arranged marriages or might not have deep feelings for each other initially. These astral tubes serve as spiritual conduits through which two people who were previously unfamiliar with each other can develop a natural inclination to stand by one another, remain loyal, and provide support during difficult times. The astral channel becomes a medium through which couples share thoughts, ideas, feelings, and engage in what we might call astral-level communication. It's through this connection that genuine and unconditional love, which is vital for any successful marriage, can flow between husband and wife. This system is designed to help couples remain together and build healthy, happy family units that can withstand the challenges of life. Now here's where things become concerning. When someone engages in multiple casual sexual relationships with various partners, they end up forming numerous astral tubes, connecting them to a large number of people through astral matter. Most people have no idea this is happening because they can't see these connections with their physical eyes. Imagine someone who has had 10 different sexual partners. They now have 10 different astral tubes, connecting them to 10 different people. Someone who can see the astral plane through meditation would observe this person surrounded by a network of energy tubes extending out to numerous individuals scattered around the world. This creates a completely different energetic situation than what God intended. Instead of having one strong, focused connection that builds a solid marriage and family, the person's energy is scattered and divided among multiple connections. Unlike marriage, where the goal is long-term commitment and building a life together, Casual relationships are typically driven by very different motivations. Most people engaging in casual sex are not looking to settle down with their partners. Their pursuit revolves solely around momentary sexual gratification without any deeper commitment or responsibility. These relationships often stem from selfish and harmful motives, including manipulation, conquest, pure lust, and what Master Dan and G calls a use and throw attitude. In the vast majority of cases, people in casual relationships lack even basic regard, respect, concern, or understanding for each other as human beings. Their actions are driven primarily by intense passion and physical desire, with little recognition of their partner as a complete person with feelings, dreams, and a soul. Instead, they view each other solely as objects for sexual gratification. Once their desires are satisfied, they move on to another person, often causing significant harm and emotional damage to the other party at mental, emotional, and spiritual levels. This behavior sets off what the teachings describe as a powerful karmic reaction in the cosmos. When someone engages in casual sex with promises of commitment or deeper relationship, they create expectations in their partner at deep emotional and spiritual levels. When these hopes and dreams are shattered through betrayal and eventual breakup, something significant happens energetically. The emotions that were once positive, hopes, affections, and loving feelings, transform into a dense mass of jealousy, bitterness, desire for revenge, and hatred. Remember, the astral tube that was formed between the two people persists and remains strong even after the relationship ends. This means the tube that was originally meant to carry love and positive energy now becomes a conduit for the exchange of these negative energies. Both people involved begin to experience worry, fear, emotional instability, and a lack of peace of mind, often without understanding why they feel this way. Here's something that might shock you. Each astral tube, formed through sexual intercourse, persists for a minimum of 12 years from the time of the last sexual encounter, unless there's a repeat encounter. In some cases, depending on the density and strength of the connection, these tubes can potentially last a lifetime or even span multiple births. This means that even if someone recognizes their mistakes and completely changes their lifestyle, adopting disciplined brahmacharya, celibacy, leading a virtuous life, and consistently praying to God, it would still require a minimum of 12 years for each astral tube to naturally disintegrate. During this entire period, telepathic messages, vibrations, and longings continue to be communicated between former partners through these tubes. Even if people have completely cut off all physical contact and think they've moved on, they remain energetically connected. If one former partner were to intensely long for or think about the other person from anywhere in the world, the other party would get feelings of recollection and might even be tempted to reconnect sexually, even many years after the relationship ended. The presence of multiple astral tubes creates serious problems when someone eventually wants to settle down and get married. These existing tubes remain active, like live phone connections, and they interfere with the factors essential for building a strong husband-wife relationship. When someone with multiple previous connections tries to form a deep bond with their spouse, their energy and attention are constantly being pulled in different directions through these old tubes. This makes it much more difficult to establish the kind of focused, devoted connection that makes marriages strong and lasting. The result is often the gradual destruction of the family unit, as the marriage lacks the spiritual foundation and energetic integrity needed to weather life's challenges. To understand why this matters so much, we need to talk about something called Kundalini, the fundamental life force energy within every human being. This force represents the sum total of all vital energy and serves as the wellspring of life energy, greatness, and spiritual power. This power is directly connected to sexual essence. When sexual energy is conserved and channeled properly, it strengthens the Kundalini. Conversely, this force is dispersed and weakened through sexual activity. During childhood, for about 12 to 14 years, nature automatically maintains the conservation of sexual essence and keeps sexual energy focused internally. This natural restriction helps achieve complete growth of the child's body, brain, mind, and intellect. When someone experiences their first they undergo a heightened sexual awareness that becomes directed toward the external world. This makes them much more susceptible to desires and external temptations than they were before. According to these teachings, when a virgin man and virgin woman marry and unite sexually, their connection is incredibly strong, and their marriage naturally becomes very stable. Their astral tubes grow together in such a way that they literally form one body and one mind. This represents the truest form of marriage and is the strongest type of union, seldom ending in separation or divorce. However, if either the man or woman has had sexual intercourse before marriage, the emotional and spiritual closeness of their marriage will be less intense. The degree of this reduction corresponds directly to the extent of their earlier promiscuous behavior. The astral connections between parents have a direct impact on their children. The psychic connection between mother and father emotionally stabilizes children in the family and provides them with a sense of security that lasts until around age. However, if there are other astral tubes present in either parent, from premarital encounters or ongoing extramarital affairs, children suffer emotionally while growing up. The conflicting forces and vibrations from these multiple connections create a strong tendency toward unrest, fear, and confusion in the child's developing psyche. This is why all genuine religious traditions emphasize the importance of virtue, morality, and celibacy before marriage, not as arbitrary rules, but as spiritual principles that protect the well-being of future generations. The good news is that there is a path to healing and purification, even for those who have made mistakes in the past. Through the practice of brahmacharya, celibacy, constant prayer, righteous living, and spiritual discipline, it's possible to gradually eliminate the negative effects of past action. As someone begins practicing celibacy and succeeds in maintaining longer and longer periods without sexual activity, the physical and astral toxins present within their system gradually begin to leave. This elimination process often manifests as brief periods of illness or discomfort, which actually represent the burning away of negative karma accumulated through past misdeeds. Layer by layer, these impurities are eliminated, and the body becomes stronger and more resistant to disease and spiritual contamination. Eventually, it develops the strength to remain untouched by external negative influence. For those who achieve complete mastery over sexual energy and maintain unbroken celibacy, the teachings describe the development of what's called yoga shariram, a body purified by the power of yoga. This body becomes like steel, resistant to all forms of degeneration and decay, except for the karma that must be worked out in the present lifetime. People who reach this state can perform great physical and mental feats and become virtually impregnable to disease and spiritual attack. The teachings of Master Dhananji reveal profound truths about the spiritual dimensions of human sexuality and relationships. They show us that our actions in this area have consequences that extend far beyond what we can see with our physical eyes. In a world that often promotes casual relationships and sexual freedom without responsibility, these teachings offer a different perspective, one that emphasizes the sacred nature of sexual energy and the importance of using it consciously and with great care. Whether you're currently single, in a relationship, or married, understanding these principles can help you make more informed choices about your relationships and your spiritual development. The path of virtue, celibacy before marriage, and faithful commitment within marriage isn't just about following rules, it's about aligning with spiritual laws that support our highest well-being and that of future generations. Remember, every choice we make creates energetic consequences that ripple out into the cosmos and affect not just ourselves, but everyone connected to us. By choosing the path of conscious sacred relationship, we contribute to healing and elevating not just our own lives, but the entire world. If you found these teachings valuable and enlightening, please take a moment to like this content and subscribe for more profound spiritual wisdom. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your insights could help others on their spiritual journey. Together, we can build a community dedicated to conscious living and spiritual growth. Thank you for taking the time to explore these life-changing teachings with us.